Hey, what's up? Oscar Z, Oscar Z TV. Date is pretty, well, it's not lately, but it's 12:39 a.m. April 29th, 2013. How you doing today? I'm doing fan-freaking-tastic. Wow. I just had to document my reaction towards Stan Romanek's Stan, S-T-A-N, last name Romanek, R-O-M-A-N-E-K. Full presentation of his experiences with our space brothers. Bottom line, I no digging now. You know, he is on the internet, and the YouTube has tons of video, small snippets of his video coverage, but you have to see the full presentation of the documentary. Well, he's sort of doing a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation where he explains in detail behind the scenes, and then he shows coverage, video coverage, and also pictures and recordings. I was blown away. I was blown away. Blown away. Not there's some, it was like, with the documentation that he has, I felt like he was like Mike Tyson, just bam, boom, boom, ba, ba, gah. I was like, whoa. I was blown away, and I so resonated with not only with the video coverage of the actual extraterrestrial, but also the equations that he came up with, when apparently he was, writing them down when he was asleep. And now he's like, and he has researchers, physicists, scientists, scientists who, mathematicians, that's all now is within his circle of friends, of his reach, that he could trust. So every time that he has an equation, he gives it to someone, and they had actual, like, the mathematicians and the physicists, or the nuclear, some and they were on the presentation, and they said, we don't know what this is. It's beyond our realm. We're not there yet. And I think of one of the physicists, you know, told, you know, on the video clip, you know, I was like, that it was the equation, you know, to bend space and time. You know, I was like, me, I'm not a scientist, nor a mathematician, you know. I was like, I barely passed algebra, brother man. And, but this equation really got me. Hold on, I want to make sure I'm recording all this. Hold on just a second. Cool, alright. Alright. And, in this one particular equation, he sent it out, and the physicist, the mathematician, genius, well, we're all geniuses in one form or another. But the specialty is math, quantum physics, okay? And he told him, he was like, yeah, Santa, we don't understand this. And then, well, apparently Stan had written the equation opposite. Not backwards, but opposite. That you could see the actual equation reflected from a mirror. Like opposite. He had written down the equation opposite. So you would have to read the equation from a mirror. From a mirror, reflected off a mirror, and he wrote that. I was like, what? This was like beyond explanation. There's no explanation for that. How? Not only, you know, it was like, I think Stan said himself, you know, it was like, he's not a mathematician. You know, it was like, I think he barely knows how to do long division, he said on the videotape. I was like, dude, man, it's like, he's no mathematician, and yet he's like creating these insanely insanely so that out of this world equations that really got me. I was like, wow. Not only that, oh man, it was like his experience with his knee. Apparently from the video, the video I'm talking about is the 1 hour and 50 or so minute long presentation where he's on stage at the podium, and he also has a PowerPoint presentation where he explains everything, and he also has the pictures, the video coverage, and the audio recordings. That video, okay, that is the one that I'm talking about. And he told from his presentation that apparently he was doing some housework and he fell on the ladder or something, and I think the next day he was about to go in for surgery at the hospital. Oh shit. Apparently, our Sprace brothers, or Star brothers, got him. And the next morning he had like 5 puncture wounds right on the side of his knee. There's pictures of it, so I was like, and check this out. And he was feeling perfect the next morning. He had totally forgot about his knee. He had a freaking brace on. He had a freaking brace on when he went to bed. Next morning, they couldn't find the brace. Well, they found it eventually, but and then he noticed that the 5 puncture wounds on his knee, and he couldn't find the brace. Right then and there, they went outside, and apparently it was in ashes, scattered everywhere. I think he said it was by a house, or at the side of the house. You got one piece at the side of the house and another piece by the swing set. I was like, and he's healed. I was like, dude. I was like, wow. He seems like one right after the other. You have to watch it. Oh my gosh, it was not only that, there's so much more, and yet out of that presentation, at the end, he said it's only about like 20% of what the total amount of documentation and experiences that he had experienced. And not only that, I think his stepson wrote an equation, I think either on crayon or on lipstick, on the wall. And I think his stepson is, I don't know, young. I forgot, I was like, I'm thinking 8 or 10 years old, writing a huge ass equation. Come on. And and another thing that really sort of hit into the soul and spirit of things was his communication with, I forgot the being's name, they call her, but apparently, it's like he is considered an abductee, and he actually got to hear his star children. I'm gonna have to let's see the video again, but I think that the eldest one was actually talking, and she was saying what her name was, and also the names of the other children that he has, and that they love him. and that, you know, I was like, that they're sorry that they can't be with each other. Something along those lines. Something really touching and really loving. I was like, wow. Wow. Not not only that, you know, it was like also on the video, there was a picture taken where this beautiful girl, like you could tell it was a little girl, in between of the at the patio. Oh man, between the wooden patio pillars. You know what I'm talking about because you've seen the video, obviously. So, wow, that was incredible. And also, you know, it's like they also found a footprints. This was crazy. Footprints, and they documented the footprints. And apparently, now one of the footprints, everything else was died out because of the cold weather in Colorado, except for this one little footprint where you could see it's green, and I think it had some flowers on it, still alive, still in its full bloom, and everything else was all, you know, brown because of wintertime in Colorado. That was amazing. It was like one right after the other of just pure astonishment, pure wonder, you know, magical, just out of this multiverse that we're living in right now. Also, another incident happened where Stan's wife, apparently the company that she was working for, they hired a new manager. They didn't really get along, and apparently that manager was about to fire Stan's wife at her job. And they have received a message on the answering machine, and it stated, something along these lines, we know what has been going on. Everything has been taken care of. Not to worry. Don't worry. Something along those lines. I forgot what the actual words were, but, and then the next day, now this was from, they had a name for her, but I forgot the name, so I'm just like going to call her our star sister or star mother. And she had left a message on the answer machine. I was like, it's like, don't worry, we know everything about what's going on with your work, something, you know, you know, it's been taken care of. Don't worry. And then on the next day, the wife saw her manager being escorted out of the building with all of her miscellaneous, and she did something. She got fired. No fucking shit. No fucking shit. I was like, what? You know, I was like, you're walking in a building and knowing that you're gonna get fired today, and then you get a message from the star mother saying, not to worry, it's been all taken care of, we know everything about it, boom. And then the next morning you go to work and you see your boss getting escorted out to her car, something, I don't know if you know, security personnel or not. So bottom line, her manager got fired and everything's okay now. So that was like, wow. You know? It's so much to take in. So much. And I'm so glad I came across this information, this documentation. Documentation helps, but the story behind it and the experiences of these incredible happenings. Hold on. Okay, cool. All right. Wow, 22 minutes. Nice. All right. And so, oh man, and also, well, I'm trying to. There was so much, and that was only 20% of the total experience. Apparently, he has more coverage on an actual star being moving around, or you know, playing hide and go seek or something, you know. So, but you know, if they're going to use that in the movie that they're going to create, I don't know if it's already done or not. I don't know, but I'm going to find out, you know, because earlier today was my first time crossing paths with Stan Romanek and his incredible and amazing presentation with his experiences and his documentation, you know. And oh man, and there was oh man, there's so much documentation. I was like, that is crazy. Well, not crazy, but it's so overwhelming with so much. You know, I was like, and you know, they found in the backyard where I'm assuming a UFO landed, and there was a patch of what it looks like a circle that's been burnt up. How do you explain that? You know? How do you explain that? Well, you can't really, you know, it's like you can't really explain it. Oh man, I'm trying to figure out what else that really made me wonder even more, you know. And I think it's, you know, it's like, to me, I felt that we're coming into closer to our integration with our star brothers and sisters. Because, you know, it's like I found out that the USA, United States of America, is the only country that has not disclosed any documentation of our star brothers and sisters and their aircrafts or their spaceships. UK disclosed everything. They got thousands. I don't know how many thousands. You know, it's like all I know is that we're the only country that has not officially disclosed any of this a type of information or any you know legitimate proof from you know police officers, generals, you know, military personnel, you know, Congress personnel. I'm thinking of, with the exception of Fife something Fife. He was the mayor or the governor of Arizona, where they had this what I haven't seen it, but apparently this 1 to 2 mile long spacecraft that was going over Phoenix. A couple years ago. I don't know exactly what year. But hold on. Okay. Alright, we're going on 28 minutes. Should I have a part 2? I'm thinking so. Because apparently, man, it just got me thinking. You know, it's like it makes me wonder, you know, it's like how magical and how incredible our universe is. I'm gonna do a part 2, okay? BRB. Be right back. Oscar Z representing on the 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s. Much love.